Welcome to Mind Amendment, the podcast that dares to challenge the ways that we think about mental health, physical health, addiction, and healing. Welcome back to Mind Amendment, where we believe healing isn't just liberation if the gate is still locked. As part of our Pride Month series, Healing in the Margins, we're joined by Ashley Hampton, founder of Hampton House and Healing in the Margins. This episode dives deep into what it really takes to change the systems that keep people excluded and how we start breaking those locks together. Hello and welcome back to Mind Amendment. This is part 3 of 4 with Ashley Hampton. And Ashley, I'm so excited to continue. Our conversation has been so amazing so far, and we're going to get into that. This is the meat and potatoes. I feel like we've been on appetizers so far.
Oh, I'm excited.
So, yes, let's dive right in. I want to start today's conversation with a quote that you said. If we want different outcomes, we need to start with who's in the room. With that in mind, let's kick off part 3 with another round of cringe, crutch, or competent, where you have to label my statements with one of those answers. The topic is liberation talk or locked door.
Ooh.
What does true systems level healing require?
Okay.
A, run an equality training once a year. Oh, not even once a year, once, period. And call it culture change.
Cringe.
Yes. I was like, I can't hear your head shake.
I'm sorry. Cringe.
B, build organizations where the people most harmed by the systems are actually the ones redesigning it.
I love that. Competent.
Yes. C, diversify your PR campaign, not your leadership team.
No. Crutch, cringe, awful.
Yes. Yes.
Also, if you are in these communities, you probably don't even have a PR team.
Right.
So also sad.
Well, but so, and C was really talking about people who aren't in these communities because they're just,
I know.
you know, yeah. So, okay, D, add a rainbow to your logo every June and hope no one notices your policies.
Cringe. Disgusting.
Gross. Ew,
Gross.
Barf. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all those things. All right. So today we're going to talk about what's the difference between buzzword inclusion and actual structural change.
Okay. I love that.
I know you're all about this.
I know.
What were you going to say?
I was just thinking about the rainbow, adding it to your logo, because both of my logos are rainbows. So from the beginning, I just feel so good about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was
we don't have to change anything for Pride because it's who we are. And that is a big part of it, though.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Why was it important for you to expand beyond private practice and launch a nonprofit?
Well, expanding beyond private practice was truly an act for real. It was an act of survival. When all of the things were happening in our world, when you couldn't not see Black Lives Matter and you couldn't not feel it when you were in the community and in the streets, there was no way that I could keep going by myself as a private practice therapist. I was seeing so many people every single week who were feeling such similar strong feelings, and I was feeling them too. It's called what I call parallel processing. Mm-hmm. Everything every single one of my clients were experiencing, I also was feeling. So I'm holding all of that in while trying to hold space for 30 people a week. It's not sustainable. And so that's when we started Hampton House. And what happened with Hampton House, though, I think is what really propelled us to start Healing in the Margins. And that was cool. We have a practice full of diverse people because they are, but that what does that even mean? That's a whole other conversation. But how are we supporting those therapists? What advanced trauma trainings do they have to support the needs of our community right now? Yeah. Because what's happening in our world right now, our generation has never experienced. We weren't learning about how to process this in grad school. There's no training for it.
Well, and if I might, let's pause, because if, yes, our audience is made up of lots of licensed professionals and other professionals. But for the person who may not know or have the experience in that realm, can you speak on the lack of what, you go through, you get your bachelor's to become a licensed therapist. You go through, you get your bachelor's, then you go to master's.
Yeah.
Get your master's. And then after that, you do your licensing hours.
Yes.
Under supervision. But in your master's classes, shouldn't everything you need to know be in the, isn't it all in that?
No. You would hope so, but it is definitely, for me, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely not.
So when I think about therapy,
right,
the baseline should be that every therapist should have a competent ability to fully treat the basics, which to me are depression, anxiety, relationship issues, identity, lack of belonging. There's probably some more, but those are the first that come to mind. The certifications. Oh, how could I forget this? Because it's such a huge one for me. Addiction.
I was like, addiction is one.
Yeah. How? When it is required to be a specialist or to ethically treat these populations, it's advised, encouraged, you need the certifications that only come after masters.
Yeah.
Why is this not in school? And how much of it is actually covered?
I don't know why it's not, but it's harmful to our community. I learned a lot about theory in grad school. The actual practice of serving my community, I learned literally nothing about. It came from my own personal learning and also just doing the work with my community. So, grad school I don't think it does a good enough job preparing you. And I think every program looks a little bit different. My program, I would say, was terrible. I think there are much better programs out there. And I do think that is shifting and changing, thank God. But what we come out with, it's not enough to truly have resources to help our community with all of the things that are going on today.
And I want to say that because I get real ramped up about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to we're not going to put their stuff on Front Street. You went to a very reputable private institution.
Yeah.
For grad school.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
And so, and I don't think that is, you said there are some better, more competent programs out there. Sure. But I think that the norm is actually your experience.
110%. And that is why when we talk about systemic change, that's literally what we're addressing with Healing in the Margins. We are saying we weren't trained to serve our community. And how do we change it today?
Correct. And I'm so glad that you said it. So Healing in the Margins is the nonprofit that you started.
Yes.
And let's cover really quick the two-prong approach of the mission that your goal is to accomplish with the nonprofit.
Yeah. Healing in the Margins, creating systemic change and sustainability in mental health for Black, Brown, and queer folks. We do it in 3 ways.
Oh, 3. Ooh.
3 ways.
Call me out.
Clients in the margins, right? So we fund therapy. We fund therapy for clients all across the state of Tennessee to see any therapist of their choosing, not for 3 sessions or 6 sessions, but for 6 sessions.
Why is it important and helpful that
Did I say 6 sessions? I'm at 12 sessions.
12. It's 12. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
Why is it important and helpful for a individual to be able to go wherever they need to, rather than given a list of 10 approved? Because
a lot of folks have a provider. that they feel safe with, and maybe they've just fallen on hard times and can't afford them anymore. Because a lot of folks maybe don't live in Nashville, where there isn't as many providers that they would feel safe with. And so we don't think we should be able to control who people see. We shouldn't have to choose like who we see with what we can afford. So our model is up to 12 sessions at their rate, any therapist of your choosing. Yeah.
So people who are dipping their foot into therapy for the first time and saying, okay, I'm going to try it, or people who have been using therapy on and off or consistently for some time and hit a hard time. Doesn't matter where they're jumping in, they can apply for assistance.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
And then
so we do therapy. I mean, we've already funded $25,000 this year alone in therapy across Tennessee. Clinicians in the margins, which is kind of what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's how do we create competency? So we've started a professional clinical association called HMPCA, and it literally is a multidisciplinary association with continuing education credit. So we're having a diverse group of providers and practitioners come in and teach us. So our continuing education is by communities that we actually serve. We also fund advanced trauma training, such as BIPOC, brain spotting. We bring someone in and they'll come and teach all of that. So that's that. And then the third one you're going to love, it's competency in the margins. So we'll go out to different organizations, different corporations, and we'll do workshops and we'll do trainings on how do we show up for our LGBT community? How do we show up for our Black community, and so on and so forth? So that's what we do.
If you are in Tennessee and you're not sure if your company has ever done any training and you want to find out, go talk to your HR department, because I will tell you, it is one of the most healing, and there is nothing that will bring your organization together like one of these. It is so powerful because whether you want to believe it or not, we're all touched by this. Yeah. And it is so imperative, whether you are a therapist or a small company or a corporation, that these things are taught.
110%. That they're taught, that they're celebrated, that they're acknowledged, and in shared space. Absolutely.
Yeah. It speaks volumes. I know that, at Promises, we've done this time and time again, and you would think that in a, giant corporation, mental health corporation like ours, everybody should we only hire people that are, turnover, and people are going to people. And you know what else? Competency evolves just like everything else does.
Think about what's going on right now in our state.
So learning the evolution of what we need to keep up with, like, we're all busy adulting and it's hard and we're all exhausted.
Yes.
So if you're an HR professional listening right now, take Ashley's information. You need to get one of these trainings started for your company.
This podcast is brought to you by Promises Behavioral Health. If you or a loved one are struggling with trauma, addiction, or mental health, we are ready to answer your questions and help you take that next step. Call our admissions center at 888-648-4098 or visit us online at www.promises.com. Our team is ready and waiting to answer the call for help.
I think that one of the biggest things for me is because we've been friends and colleagues for so long, and I remember you were the first person to talk to me and to give my little white self, not little, but you got in there with me and you were like, let me share with you from my heart and my lived experience about why. And this, y'all, this was after I had been working in mental health for a very long time. I grew up in I literally grew up in, not my skin color, but community wise. I grew up half in I was the minority in half of my life that I spent like with around all Black people, and then half in a very, 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 very white community, which was so, It was what it was. But that also produced in me this feeling of I should already know, or, I care enough because I've been, all these things. But I didn't know. I still don't know all the things. And the learning is never ending. So when talking about understanding more about like what that experience means of, I graduate, I want you to give this scenario, the one where you talk about whether it's you or just this example person in the community we're talking about, graduates with their master's, then they do what? Then they go, they get their hours. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the scenario where that ends in fatigue, burnout, and I'm just going to go in a different direction. And then let's talk about what happens when they have the tools to equip them.
Okay. Well, the first one was totally me. I don't know. Did I ever tell you that I applied to work for Southwest to become a flight attendant?
No, but you would have been.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I think it, maybe.
You probably would have gotten fired because they would have,
non-compliance.
You would have at some point tried to convince the pilots to let you fly and not take a no for an answer.
For sure. No, but I literally had my master's, was working towards my licensure, and was seeing so many people. And I was like, this doesn't feel very sustainable. What's my exit plan? I'm so thankful that Southwest denied me. I actually didn't get offered the job. And that changed everything. But what I think happens is, you brought it up earlier, is this is a job, and it's a hard job financially to make a livable range of, for especially here in this state. I think it's really, really hard financially to survive as a therapist. And so what happens? You see more clients. If you see more clients, then maybe you can do better. The problem is, the more individual work you're doing, the less space you have for yourself.
And if you're seeing clients that are coming from your community that's experiencing trauma, addiction, and all of the issues that marginalized communities are experiencing, twice or more the rate of those communities that don't identify in those. If you aren't equipped with the trauma training, where does that leave you?
You burn out, right? You burn out. And the really sad part is, because your clients probably love you and feel safe with you, they're not getting what they need either. And so we all lose. Clients lose and therapists lose.
What's the message those clients receive when they get fatigued and are like, well, I didn't get what I thought I was supposed to get out of this?
I don't know that happens. I think that does happen, but I think more or not, they just stay.
No, I'm saying if the therapist burns out and ends up leaving, and or the client doesn't get, they aren't getting better, they don't always stay.
Oh,
they quit. What is the message they receive?
Therapy doesn't work. And unfortunately for a lot of people, I think that has been their experience. And I think it's because the system of therapy doesn't work. I think that the way that therapists have to perform sometimes to survive, it's not sustainable for them or the clients that they serve.
So true. So we got to fund people in marginalized communities that are taking that leap to be the servants. And I say servants because it's what it is. It's an act of service to be a therapist. It's no matter what color your skin is, no matter what, and, funding that extra training is essential. And I'm so glad that Healing in the Margins is there to do it.
Me too.
So, can you break down what healing justice means in real life, not just in theory?
Yeah, to me, healing justice looks like the folks that we are trying to help heal are part of the process, right? So I think that's what makes Hampton House and Healing in the Margins stand out, is we are founded by, run by, championed by the communities that we actually serve. So we're not just like, they need this and they need that. We actually have a lived knowing of what's needed. And I think that that's what's made healing in the margins in particular like really do so well so quickly. We're not just throwing programs to see if they fit. We are starting with, this was a lack, let's fill it. This is a problem, let's fill it. And all of the other things that come, we could do this, or we are mental health equity and sustainability for Black, brown, and queer folks. And that's it. We kind of know the lanes that we're supposed to be in, and we're staying in them. I think that's huge. That's a huge part of it. It's not performative. It is what is actually needed by our community that we serve, and then it's facilitated by that community. I think that that's what healing justice is.
Oh,
at least it is for me. I don't know.
That was such a wonderful, beautiful answer. What happens when care providers aren't given the tools or permission to show up authentically?
I think there's so much doubt. When you can't show up as your authentic self with clients, how do you help them do the same in their own life? Like, I truly believe you can only help someone as far as you have helped yourself. And if you are not sitting in a space of self, of integration, of confidence, of community, of care, I do not know how you help clients. And I might go as far to say I don't think that you actually do.
No.
I have had clients that I've had for a long, long time, and they say, gosh, you've gotten so much better. And I'm like, thank you. And they're like, no, like infinitely better. And it's because I've done my work and I continue to do my work. We can only help as far as we've gone. And so I think as we continue to grow, so too does our work and our ability to show care.
And I call back here, the knowing your limits, connecting that to my limits are here, and therefore I'm referring, because these are my limits, referring out. But also I need to grow.
Yeah.
Because I can't stay.
Yeah.
You got to reassess. It's moving. It's constantly moving.
100%.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted in our quiz game to talk about a crutch, because we all use them. We all get lazy. We all have that place where we're like, I want to get comfortable because adulting is hard and we're all fucking exhausted.
It's that complacency.
Yeah.
It feels better sometimes.
And where I continue to go back to, and the message I've been getting, like, God, the universe has been coming back to me because I've been banging my head against the wall over and over and over. I'm so exhausted to the point where I'm like, oh, the message is here that I have got to take some time and just rest and heal myself, because I haven't for so long. But do you know how much and how many different ways that message had to come through to me?
Yeah. And I think healing doesn't always feel comfortable. I think complacency feels better sometimes than actually healing.
Oh, I think it always feels better.
You know, like
healing is
it's so uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, you're not growing, you're not healing.
It's so hard.
Yeah. Period. All right. For people listening who aren't in the margins, how can they be useful co-conspirators in changing the system?
Oh, I love that. I think so much happens when people actually connect and just ask, like, how are you doing? How can I support you? Right? Like, literally, like, what, like, there's a lot. This is my blanket statement. This is an easy way to check in on someone. And I think that this is so important. There's so much going on right now. Is there any support you need? That covers anything that's going on. And in our state, for brown, black, queer folks, you will be safe with that.
Yeah.
And that is a way to show someone that you understand that there is a lot going on in their world, that you do care and you want to be called in. I think that if someone messaged me that would speak volumes and would make me feel seen, known, understood, and cared for. And that's what we all deserve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good. All right. Ashley Hampton, thank you. This was the end of part 3. Stick around with us. Part 4 is going to be even more amazing as we wrap Pride Month up. Our conversation, part 4 of 4 with Ashley next week. Come back and tune in. Thank you. That was part 3 of Healing in the Margins with Ashley Hampton. This Pride Month, we're lifting up the voices and visions that move us from passive inclusion to real transformation. Make sure you're following us. Leave a review and join the movement at Mind Amendment. Like, comment, and follow our show so we can keep amplifying bold ideas that heal.
This podcast is brought to you by Promises Behavioral Health. If you or a loved one are struggling with trauma, addiction, or mental health, we are ready to answer your questions and help you take that next step. Call our admission center at 888-648-4098 or visit us online at www.promises.com. Our team is ready and waiting to answer the call for help.